You may not notice a gradual loss of strength when you look in the mirror. You may notice it when the grocery bags feel heavier, when getting up from a low couch takes more effort, when climbing the stairs leaves your legs unusually tired, or when lifting a suitcase into the trunk no longer feels as easy as it once did. These changes can be subtle, and because they happen gradually, it is easy to dismiss them as simply part of getting older. But there is another way to think about strength. Strength is not only about how much weight you can lift in a gym. It is the physical reserve that makes everyday life easier. And as you age, protecting that reserve becomes increasingly important. In this video, you will learn why strength matters more over time, why walking alone does not train everything your body needs, what actually counts as strength training, and how to begin without an extreme workout or a complicated gym routine. Welcome to Health for Legacy. Let's start with a simple idea. Every physical task requires some percentage of your total ability. Imagine that standing up from a chair requires only 20% of the strength available in your legs. That task will probably feel easy. But if your available strength gradually declines, the same chair has not changed. Your body simply has less reserve above what the task demands. Now, standing may require 40, 60, or even 80% of what you can produce. The ordinary task begins to feel difficult. This is why strength matters far beyond the gym. A larger reserve gives you more capacity for stairs, groceries, yard work, travel, household responsibilities, and unexpected physical demands. It can also give you more room to recover after a period of illness, injury, or inactivity. This does not mean everyone becomes weak at the same age. There is no switch that suddenly flips at 40, 50, or 65. Changes in muscle and strength vary significantly between people. Activity level, health conditions, injuries, nutrition, sleep, and long periods of sitting can all influence what happens over time. But in general, muscle function tends to decline as people get older, especially when the muscles are not regularly challenged. The clinical term sarcopenia is often used for age-related loss of muscle mass and function, but you do not need to memorize that term. The practical message is more important. The body adapts to what you repeatedly ask it to do. If you regularly ask your muscles to work against meaningful resistance, they receive a reason to maintain and improve their capacity. If you rarely challenge them, your body has less reason to preserve abilities it is not being asked to use. Fortunately, the ability to respond to resistance training does not disappear simply because someone is older. Research has found improvements in strength even among people in advanced age. You may not respond exactly as you did at 25. You do not need to. The goal is not to compete with your younger self. The goal is to improve your current capacity and protect the abilities you want to keep. Now, many people hear this and say, I already walk several times a week. Isn't that enough? Walking is valuable. It supports cardiovascular health, keeps you moving, and can improve endurance. You should not stop walking because you begin strength training. But walking and strength training provide different challenges. During normal walking, your legs repeatedly move your body through a familiar pattern. That is useful, but it may not place enough resistance on every major muscle group to maintain or increase strength. Your back, chest, shoulders, arms, hips, and legs all need appropriate challenge. That is why U.S. physical activity guidance recommends both aerobic activity and muscle strengthening activity. For older adults, balance work is also part of the overall picture. So, walking and strength training are not competitors, they are partners. A complete approach to healthy aging includes aerobic fitness, muscular strength, and the ability to control your balance and movement. And strength training does not require a bodybuilding gym. Resistance can come from many places. You can use dumbbells, resistance bands, weight machines, your own body weight, or carefully selected movements at home. A wall push-up can be strength training. So can standing up from a chair repeatedly, if that movement is appropriately challenging for you. A resistance band row can train your upper back. Carrying weights can challenge your grip, legs, and trunk. The equipment matters less than the basic principle. Your muscles must work against resistance that feels meaningful. And as your body adapts, the challenge eventually needs to progress. That does not always mean adding more weight. You can first improve your control, then increase your range of motion, then add a few repetitions, then choose a slightly harder variation, or add a small amount of resistance. Progress does not need to be dramatic. It needs to be gradual enough that your body can adapt while your technique remains stable. A useful beginner routine can be organized around 5 basic movement patterns. The first is sitting and standing. This can include a chair squat, a body weight squat, or a leg press machine. The daily life connection is obvious. You use this pattern when getting out of a chair, rising from the couch, entering a car, or standing from the toilet. The second pattern is pushing. Examples include a wall push-up, a counter push-up, or a chest press machine. Pushing strength helps with doors, household objects, and supporting your upper body. The third pattern is pulling. A resistance band row, cable row, or supported dumbbell row can train this pattern. Pulling movements strengthen muscles across the back and arms that are often neglected by daily life. The fourth pattern is hinging or lifting. This involves bending through the hips while controlling the spine and legs. The exact exercise could be a supported hip hinge, a light deadlift variation, or practice lifting an object safely from an elevated surface. This pattern matters when picking up bags, laundry baskets, packages, or objects from the floor. The fifth pattern is carrying and stabilizing. That could involve carrying light dumbbells, grocery bags, or another manageable load while maintaining an upright posture. Carrying challenges grip strength, the trunk, the hips, and the ability to remain stable while moving. You do not need to master every exercise in one day. Choose versions that match your current ability. An exercise that is appropriate for one person may be too easy, too difficult, or unsuitable for someone else. The best movement is not the one that looks most impressive. It is the one you can perform with control, progress over time, and continue consistently. So, how much do you actually need? Current US guidelines recommend that adults perform muscle strengthening activity on at least 2 days each week and include all the major muscle groups. For many beginners, 2 non-consecutive sessions can be a realistic place to start. You might train on Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday. This gives your muscles time between sessions while helping you establish a routine. For each movement, 1 controlled set can be a reasonable starting point. A common guideline is approximately 8 to 12 repetitions, performed with resistance. That makes the final repetitions challenging while technique remains controlled. Some people may benefit from 2 or 3 sets over time, but more volume is not automatically better for a beginner. A smaller routine you perform consistently is more valuable than an ambitious routine you abandon after 2 weeks. You also do not need to reach complete muscular failure on every set. You should feel that the muscles worked. The final repetitions should require concentration and effort, but you should still be able to maintain the intended movement and breathing. When your form starts breaking down, the set is probably finished. The next question is how to progress. Use this order. First, improve control, then add repetitions within a reasonable range, then add a small amount of resistance. Change only one variable at a time. For example, imagine you begin with 8 chair stands. After several sessions, you can complete 12 with stable technique, and they no longer feel particularly challenging. You might then use a slightly lower chair, slow the lowering portion, hold a light weight, or move to another suitable squat variation. The goal is not to make every workout exhausting. The goal is to create a challenge your body can recover from and gradually adapt to. Now let's address 3 common myths. The first myth is that strength training is only for young people. It is not. The purpose may change with age, but the body can still respond. For a younger adult, the goal may be athletic performance or appearance. For someone in midlife or later, the goal may increasingly include preserving mobility, confidence, and independence. The second myth is that strength training requires heavy barbells. It does not. Heavy resistance can be useful for some people, but it is not the only way to train. Bands, machines, bodyweight exercises, dumbbells, and modified movements can all provide useful resistance. The correct difficulty depends on the individual. The third myth is that strength workouts must be long. They do not. A basic routine that trains the major movement patterns can be completed without spending hours in a gym. Consistency, appropriate effort, and gradual progression matter more than creating the most complicated program possible. Safety also matters. Normal effort, temporary muscle fatigue, and some mild soreness after an unfamiliar session can happen. Sharp pain is different, so are chest discomfort, faintness, severe dizziness, confusion, or unusual shortness of breath. Those are not signals to prove your toughness by pushing harder. Stop and seek appropriate medical evaluation. Professional guidance may also be useful if you have recently had surgery, have significant balance problems, experience persistent joint pain, live with a medical condition that affects exercise, or simply do not know which movements are safe for your situation. A qualified physical therapist, healthcare professional, or experienced certified trainer may help you identify a suitable starting point. Getting guidance is not a sign that you are incapable. Sometimes it is the fastest way to begin with greater confidence. Here's the main message. Strength training becomes more important as you age because daily life does not lower its requirements for you. You still need to stand, climb, carry, reach, lift, balance, and recover when life temporarily interrupts your routine. The stronger you are relative to those demands, the easier ordinary life can feel. You are not training only to lift a heavier dumbbell. You are training so that groceries remain groceries instead of becoming a major physical challenge, so that stairs remain a normal part of the day, so that getting off the floor remains something you can do, and so that the activities you value continue to feel available to you. Choose 2 days this week. Select a few movements you can perform with control. Write down what you did, and when the routine becomes comfortable, progress one small step at a time. You do not need an extreme transformation. You need an appropriate challenge, repeated consistently. If this video helped you see strength training differently, please like the video and subscribe to Health for Legacy. Your support helps us continue producing careful, evidence-based health content without hype or misleading promises. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video. Until then, live stronger, age better, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.